What's up, YouTubers? It is now 2 a.m. So it's kind of late. Been up, not really painting or doing Malifaux stuff. I was actually helping my wife with her various projects, trying to get her underway because I am going to be on the road next week. I'll be in Miami and Chicago. And these are going to be some short trips, and I'm not really going to have much time for gaming, but I will try to get in some gaming with my buddies over in Chicago, if that's available, so we'll hope for that. But anyway, I thought I would take a little bit of time to just give some updates while we look at some of the latest stuff I've been working on. This is a Victorious crew that Vivid Adventures 2010 sent over. When I talked to him about the original arrangement, which was doing that Lilith crew that you saw in the last update, I didn't really feel like he was getting his money's worth. And he was, Chad over there was really cool about that. But I said, hey, if you want, I can help you work on something else. And he sent over this Victorious crew, which was pretty cool. Now, they're kind of bright for a Victorious crew. I don't know if you remember my Victorious crew. Mine are much more dull, a lot more earth tones. And I thought I would give Vivid Adventures kind of a different take on the crew. The Victorias themselves are very cartoony looking and almost anime looking, so I really went with that, with the pink hair and the bright colors and so forth. So I hope he likes it. If not, obviously I could tone it down, but I think they're really fun with these colors, and this really plays more to the style of painting that I prefer to do. So anyway, hope you don't mind the pink hair. I thought it turned out really cool, actually, and the other bright colors on this crew. But anyway, that's this project. Now, we need to go over some updates for SoCal Malifaux. So for you guys that have been sticking with SoCal Malifaux, just wanted to say thank you for all of your support for our events, for everything that we're doing day to day, for just helping our club and our community grow. I mean, things have really taken off, and that's all due to you guys, and it's all due to all the hard work of everybody who chips into SoCal Malifaux, from the henchmen to some of the guys that do the behind-the-scenes work, like Adam, for instance, and Gabe. And speaking of Gabe, I owe you guys more updates for what Gabe has been working on. Now, you saw some of the prototypes last time, and he's still working on those. And he should have a site up very soon where not just SoCal Malifaux, but everybody else that's been asking me about his stuff can actually get on and start placing some orders. So we're really excited about that. So Gabe should be up and running very shortly. When he is, I am going to post an update on this channel and make sure everybody knows how to get a hold of my buddy Gabe. So Gabe did this for me. I don't know if you can see it. So, yeah, you can see the little SoCal Malifaux on there. And this is a really simple thing. This is a wooden spoon. And I love these. I actually ordered a whole bunch from Gabe. And this corresponds to that event that you guys saw some of the raw footage of last time, which is the One Day Achievement League. Again, that is a new player type of event. It's so that new players can get a little bit more experience playing games in a friendly environment, without the heavy competitiveness, sorry, it's really late, competitiveness of a full-blown tournament, kind of get their feet wet with new purchases, and just really understand the mechanics of the game a little bit more. So, Gabe designed these. We ran our first event. Now, I considered that event to be a tremendous success, and a lot of the folks that attended that event feel the same way. However, we do want to make a few tweaks to that event, make it a little bit more time friendly, because one thing we noticed is that with the points values that we set, there were some time constraints, and we did run a little bit longer than we originally planned. So, but anyway, that event turned out to be very popular, and we'll be running a lot more of that soon. Now, as far as upcoming events, we've got Kingdom Con going on at the end of next week. That's going to be April 13th through 15th at the Crown Plaza Hotel in San Diego. This is going to be a gamer crowd, so we've got the whole crew of SoCal Malifaux on board. We're going to be running some demos. We're also going to be running this event, so get ready to try to play for the wooden spoon if you are so inclined. The wooden spoon is for folks that have a hard time winning that day, and that's fine. I mean, that's the fun of the event. Is some people would actually play towards the wooden spoon, so that's going to be one of the events there. We're also running a special scenario encounter and a regular standard tournament that Sunday. So please check that out. Down the line, we're going to be looking at another event, at least one other event in San Diego. That would be the Gaslight Gathering. Now, that is a steampunk convention that hosts some games, and just so happens that Malifaux, being a steampunk type of game, fits in perfectly there. So you can expect to see our presence down there at the Gaslight Gathering. That's that's May 11th through 13th, I believe, down in San Diego. I'll get you more information on that. And in addition to that, I think it's going to be more of the regular local events as well. So our club is growing, our group is growing, our activities are just flying off the map. We've got folks getting more interested up in the high desert area. Up in Bakersfield, we've got Aaron, our new henchman, up there. We've got some folks that are in the process of becoming henchmen. And so, with all these folks kind of looking to become henchmen, and folks that are freshly taken up the black, as we like to say, down here in SoCal Malifaux, we've been talking about a new potential series. Now, I know Ramblin' About Ramos is releasing a little bit slower than we expected. That's with all of the other activities going on, but that series will continue at least 2 more parts before we take a break from that. But I wanted to talk about this upcoming series, which is going to be tailored specifically for those folks that are either looking to become henchmen or are freshly blacked henchmen, as we should say. And so this series is going to be tailored for them. It's really going to go into things that go into... wow, that was just horrible. I'm sorry, it is so late. It's really going to be tailored towards educating people about the game and what is actually involved in being a henchman, and then the stuff that we do in SoCal Malifaux that just kicks it up a notch. Now, I don't know how many of you guys out there are familiar with the henchman program for Weird Miniatures and Malifaux, but it is a great program. But that said, it is not the type of program where, if you're expecting to get into that program with the idea of, hey, you're going to profit from getting free, or not really free, but you're going to be comped in terms of Weird Miniatures, that's probably the wrong idea. This is probably the wrong idea for you because of the kind of work and dedication and all of the other constraints involved. This is not something really for profit. You really have to love the game to do this, and you really have to have an earnest desire to grow your community and to be involved in local gaming. And we're going to get into that. And it may sound a little bit preachy, but that's really what a henchman should be doing. Henchmen need to really take the role seriously, and they really need to consider themselves leaders and role models, and you're going to be the guy that that the gamers are going to be looking to for advice. They're going to be modeling themselves after you and how you play and how you approach the game. And believe it or not, your impact on a gaming group is going to be gigantic. Your gaming groups really reflect upon what type of influence you've had on them. So, with all that said, we are going to get into some of the nuts and bolts of henching. I'm going to share with you the stuff that I learned as a henchman and the stuff that's worked for me. But by no means is this the best way to do things. This is just how we've done things in SoCal Malifaux. And we've seen success, but we've also had some stuff that we're continuing to improve upon. So by looking at least one system or one approach to henching, maybe you as a potential or interested henchman can look at that and go, oh, here's how I would do it different, because as you know, meta is going to be different from area to area. Your play groups and their attitudes are going to be different. Their desires are going to be very different. There's going to be play groups that are looking at Malifaux, let's say as a leisurely type game and a fun setting, and that's spectacular, and I love it that way. But you may have some other groups that are maybe more veteran gamers that are looking to play a more complex system. So your approach as a henchman is really going to impact the success or failure of Malifaux and Weird Miniatures in your area. So that's what that series is going to be about. I'm actually planning on shooting the intro part on the road, if I can. It's going to be on my flip, and it's going to be horrible lighting, and you're going to be looking at some crew that you've already seen before because it's going to be miniatures I'm taking on the road with me. But I wanted to kick off that series very soon, and I want to hit some of the important parts early, because this is a time-critical thing for us in SoCal Malifaux with the number of guys that are now taking the black. So, anyway, been rambling on for quite a while. I hope you guys have enjoyed the content that's been on my site lately. I know some of it's been hodgepodge, and we've kind of been all over the map in terms of you might have a painting video one week, you might have a half of a battle report the other week, and you might have a rambling about Ramos the following week. So hopefully you're okay with that format. Always looking for feedback as far as what you guys want to see, what topics you want to have covered. And that's about it. Again, I just wanted to thank everybody that's watching the channel, everybody in particular that's supporting SoCal Malifaux and coming out to our events and meeting new people. The response has been overwhelming, you guys. Overwhelming, and we cannot thank you enough. You guys are the reason why we do this stuff. You're the reason why we're out, looking to design wooden spoons and designing special cards and different events. Honestly, we would not be doing this kind of stuff if you guys were not the coolest people on Earth. So anyway, that's it for this update. Sorry for rambling on for so long. And you'll be hearing from me while I'm on the road, because guess what? I'll actually be removed from some of this work, and I'll actually have some time to sit down and have a few words with you guys. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.